Ananas scavengers, Pineapple here. Today, I'm going to speak to you about AI. Hi, and how to responsibly use it for writing and other creative endeavors. Know that there are many, many of you who think AI is nothing more than a common thief, stealing away what you have created for its own gain. I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, this is an oversimplification, but it is correct. While AI itself is not a thief, the people who use it irresponsibly are. AI is a tool unlike any other. You can tell it to write a song, it can do a semi-decent job at that. You can tell it to paint me a picture, and it will most certainly try. You can tell it to do, oh, so many things for me. What it is really, really good at is giving someone an outline to work with. Something from which they can build a song, a scene or a story, a song or a poem, a portrait or a painting. Really quite good at getting rid of those nasty planning details that leave many aspiring artists and authors stumped. Is taking an AI generated image and editing it really that different from doing the same to a photograph or a painting? Is having AI help one to create a rough outline from which a story may sprout really that bad? No, because that is understanding what AI is at its core. A tool that requires responsible use and understanding. Brush alone cannot make a beautiful painting, nor can any amount of paper, paint, easels, pencils, reference art, figurines, drawing wax. Does not matter what tools one might have. In order for a proper and beautiful creation, you need an artist. And in this time where AI is starting to take its own roots, artists and authors are needed more than ever. People who are use AI responsibly and sparingly to give them a place to start with, a single scene to work with. I might be able to do a mighty fine rough draft, but an actual story of intrigue, romance, mystery, action, and most importantly, a very pretty girl, AI could never. I would know. I've used it before in my story writing. It got rather cocky trying to write scenes on its own. Each was worse than the last. Not a single one of those AI written scenes made it past planning. The AI I was using got firmly reprimanded for trying to replace me. I am the author here, I told it, and I know what I want my story to be. Beginning on my laziest of days, I asked AI to tell me a story. I gave it a simple yet detailed prompt, just enough for the AI to give me a small and simple tale. Had I given that prompt to any half-decent author, I would have gotten a short story to make me laugh in perhaps a week or two. AI gave me the worst story I've ever heard in approximately 5 seconds. I gave up reading halfway through, and it was barely even a paragraph. Later found a story that was exactly what I was hoping the AI would give me. It was written by an actual human being. I was not at all surprised. I knew what to expect from the AI and ignored those expectations out of sheer laziness. I should never have trusted it. AI is short for artificial intelligence, and while it is quite smart, it is simply the collaboration of the entire internet's knowledge, so far as it has access. People can be quite stupid, and thus so can AI. Let me tell you. No, no, let me show you. I have brought two stories that I found on the archive. One, quite blatantly written by AI. The other, inspired by it. Written with its aid. I will read both stories to you, and afterwards, I will begin writing my own story to show you all how AI can be used responsibly. Only by those who wish to make use of it. I shall never, not even for a second, suggest that AI should be used even by those who do not wish to use it. Nor will I ever encourage its irresponsible usage. After all, it is nothing more than a tool. Remember that. Now, on to the story. First one is Tides of the Heart. Summary is sad. Perspective, you watched the movie, thought about how gay they were, but were too lazy to actually write it, so you asked AI. Sold your soul to the algorithm. If you're going to write, write. But I can certainly hope that the story is still good. Except, I know it won't be. I've read it before. For it was awful. The sea was uneasy, its surface rippling with a strange energy that Moana couldn't explain. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the water as her canoe cut through the waves. For weeks now, the tides had been unpredictable, the patterns breaking in ways that threatened Matanui's survival. The fish were scarce, storms brewed without warning. Something deep within the ocean felt wrong. It wasn't until she reached the edge of a churning vortex, where the water spiraled unnaturally, defying the rhythm of the world, that she saw her. A woman stood on the jagged mains of a shattered reef, framed by a backdrop of boiling clouds and crashing waves. Her hair was wild, dark curls falling to her shoulders like tendrils of the sea itself. Tattoos ran down her arm, intricate designs that spoke of her connection to the ocean. She held a coral staff in one hand, its jagged, glowing tip pulsing like a heartbeat. "You've come a long way, Chief Moana," the woman said, her voice carrying over the storm like a siren's call. Lips curled into a smirk, equal parts confidence and challenge. Moana's pulse quickened, not entirely out of something magnetic about the woman, something Moana couldn't quite place. "Who are you, and what are you doing?" "Into the ocean," Moana demanded, her hands tightening on the canoe's outrigger. The woman tilted her head, as if amused. "I am Matangi. The ocean isn't yours to question, is it? Perhaps it chose me for this power." Moana's journey to this moment had been long and full of questions. She had first heard whispers of autonomy from passing voyagers, stories of a woman who controlled the tides and commanded the sea itself. Some called her a savior, others a thief. Curious and concerned, Moana had set sail to find her, hoping to restore balance to the ocean. But she hadn't expected Matangi to be like this. "You can feel what you've done," Moana said, her voice steady despite the pounding of her heart. "You've bent the current, stolen the fish, left the entire islands to suffer. Why?" Moana's smirk faded, replaced by something harder. "Do you know what it's like to watch your people starve, Moana? And to see the land dry up and the sea turn its back on you? My island, Nioi Kai, has been forgotten by the ocean. I simply reminded it who needed saving most. Moana's jaw tightened. The ocean does not forget anyone. It gives to all of us, if we respect it. What you're doing isn't saving your people. It's destroying everyone else. Tanya's laugh was bitter. The crash of a wave against rock, spoken like someone who's ever had to fight for a place in the world. You're the ocean's chosen, Moana. The sea sings for you. What about the rest of us? What about those it ignores? The first time Moana and Matangi had crossed paths, it had been under much different circumstances. Moana had stumbled upon an unfamiliar island, its waters strangely calm despite the chaos in the surrounding seas. Matangi had been there, sitting by a fire on the beach, her coral staff resting beside her. Boss, Chief? Matangi asked, her voice cheesing, looking for answers. Moana had replied, her curiosity outweighing her caution. What followed was a surprisingly easy exchange. Matangi had been charming, disarming even. Her wit sharp, but her demeanor warm. They had spent hours talking, sharing stories of their islands, their struggles, their dreams. Moana had felt a pull to her, a connection she couldn't explain. Aaaiii seemed to understand the weight of leadership, a constant pull and push of duty and desire. Now, standing across from her, the storm's eye, that warmth had been replaced by something darker. Thought you cared about the ocean, Moana said. Stepping off her canoe onto the jagged reef, ground beneath her felt alive, pulsing with the same energy as Matangi's staff. Care about my people, Matangi replied, her grip tightening on the staff. I'll do whatever it takes to save them. Moana shook her head, anger and heartbreak roaring within her. This isn't the way. You're hurting everyone else to protect them. The ocean doesn't work like that. What would you know about it? Matangi shot back, her voice rising like the tide. You're the golden child of Motunui, the hero of Defeati. Never had to fight for the ocean's favor. It's always been yours. But the rest of us, survival is the battle. You think I haven't fought? Moana's voice cracked, frustration spilling over. I risked my life for the ocean, for Defeati, for all of us. Know what it means to sacrifice everything for your people. What you're doing, this isn't sacrifice. It's greed. Tiny flinched, the glow of her staff flickering. For a moment, Moana thought she had gotten through to her. Then Matangi's expression hardened. You don't understand, and you never will. And the battle began with a crack of thunder. Matangi raised her coral staff, and the ocean surged to her command, waves raising like walls to crash down Moana. But Moana was the ocean's chosen, and it answered her call just as fiercely. The water parted around her, lifting her onto a cresting wave that carried her toward Matangi. Stop this, Moana sounded, her voice barely audible above the roar of the storm. You don't have to do this, Matangi. Matangi's eyes blazed with determination. Yes, I do. Their clash was a dance of water and will, each of them drawing on the ocean's power in different ways. Moana fought to restore balance to protect the people Matangi was hurting. Matangi fought for her survival, for the desperate hope of saving her home. Didn't want it to be like this, Moana said, voice trembling as they struggled against each other. I thought we could have been. She couldn't finish the sentence. Could have been what? Matangi's voice was raw, the storm within her matching the one outside. Friends, allies, lovers. Moana froze, her heart twisting at the word. She had felt it too, the spark, the possibility of something more between them. That dream was ripping away with every wave that crashed around them. I wanted to believe in you, Moana said finally, but you've lost yourself in this. In the end, it wasn't strength that ended the battle, but the ocean's judgment. The water itself rose up, pulling the coral staff from Matangi's grasp. Without its power, the storm quieted, leaving the two women standing in the stillness of the aftermath. Matangi sank to her knees, her shoulders trembling. I only wanted to save them, she whispered. Moana approached her cautiously, her heart aching at the side. I know, she said softly, but this wasn't the way. The ocean doesn't abandon anyone, Matangi. You just have to trust it. Matangi looked up at her, tears mingling with the salt water on her face. I don't know how to anymore. Moana knelt beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. Then let me show you. far as AI written stories go, not horrible. Typically, pure AI writing has less emotion and nuance than a train ride. Not even a train wreck. At least that has destruction and drama. Train ride is just, oh, look out the window, there's a wall! Now, for the other story. I do show you these things for a reason. This story is Shots, written by a friend of mine called Neon Pen. Chapter 18, Playing God. Risa meets a mysterious figure. See? Inspired by an AI conversation. Not quite the same as AI assisted, but close enough. Perhaps the only one that knows how to use AI as an assisting tool when writing. At least I'm the only one that cares to. Risa was trudging through the woods outside her house. She was saddened by an event that happened earlier that month, and tried putting her mind to different things. Kare Hanjo, found dead at 17. Then a random accident. Not a planned event, just random occurrence. On her path, she ran into someone sitting on a bench, enjoying the ambience. Morning. Oh, good morning, you shall do. What? Risa grew tense at the man's words. I will do for what? Ah, apologies. Let me show you. Girl's world turned upside down. Suddenly the forest, the path, and the trees all crumbled away into nothing, leaving a blank-like void, and an island the two stood upon. What did you do? Right now? Nothing. I can do much more, however. Who are you? I go by many names. God, Allah, but I prefer myself to be called Creator. Okay, we'll bring back the world, my world. Not done yet, but they will be brought back eventually. What do you plan to do to me first? I want for you to join me. Fat chance you just killed everybody in the world. Like I would ever join someone who does that. They will be fine. If you are who you claim to be, that still makes you cool. So, you decide how the world works. You willingly choose to do nothing of the violence and pain that goes on. Cruelty, benevolence, simply two sides of the same coin. Some will suffer the first, so others can reap the second. Though I control the world, the actions of every human being on Earth are far too taxing to keep track of. Man has two primary desires, to keep what he has and to take what he thinks he deserves. There will always be those that will be fine to take from what others have in order to add to themselves. Oh, it's no matter how much of a utopia I craft. My word may shape the world, but it is you who decides how to live in it. Well, what are your terms? I ask for you to take on my world and crafting the world as seen fit. No strings attached. All you cannot do is kill me. You will live forever. Why give someone else all this power? Why me? Tell the truth. It's boring being stuck managing everything. Spend all my time crafting the world. I have no time to live in it. I believe you to be kind enough and smart enough to improve the world from what it is now. Anything else? Yes. My powers go beyond just what you see in the physical world. The man's phone, he pulled up a news article about Blake Holiday. Wait, are you saying that you could? Yes, I could. I know the glances you stole. The words you thought about her. She too would be immortal. And the hymns of your love song would ring out through all eternity. Hearing those words broke Risa down to tears. She tried to live in a world without Kare, but she knew she wouldn't be able to. She may have decided to follow her sooner rather than later. Please, yes, I accept. Make me your successor. I will not disappoint you. When she let me be with her again, I knew you would accept. The girl cried her heart out. Figures crafted out of threads of light. Lisa looked up. She saw her. Short, happy girl, black hair and a bob cut, brown eyes that Lisa could get lost in for millennia. Lisa. Kade? It's me. Lisa stood up and hugged the girl. You're back, you're back. Please don't cry, he said. No, Kade. I've never been happier. We'll do now we're together again. All they knew began to form itself around them yet again. Whatever you want, Kade. I'm fine with whoever. The creator stood to the side of Lisa. Well, I wish you two the best. I'll be off on whatever adventures I come across. Safe travels. And again, thank you. Whenever you decide to hold up your end of the bargain, I hope it will be interesting. Soon he left, meaning the two were stood looking at one another in the clearing, two immortal girls to play out their love story. Oh, Lisa, where should we go? Lead the way. Much better. There. Story written by an actual person. Now, the fun begins. Why am I showing you these things? Well, whether you like it or not, AI is here to stay. But I know for myself that it is worthless. At least when it is not used by a responsible, creative, competent individual who knows how to use it to bring out the best in their writing. AI without a user is as worthless as a brush without a painter. To a quill without an author, a champion without a cause. I know a thing or two about that last one. But of course I haven't released that chapter yet. I should really get to writing it. Implore you all to understand that it is not whether I am pro or anti-AI. But it is that I understand what AI is. It is a tool. Say it with me. AI is just a tool. Nothing more, nothing less. It has its uses. Planning, brainstorming, organizing, even digitizing records for family history. But it is still just a tool. Tool is not worth anything without someone who knows how to use it. You cannot build a deck with just a hammer. You cannot write a story with just AI. Not if you want a story. Story is written by an author. Desk built by a carpenter. Life is made by you. Now onwards to writing. What do I want for this story? I really should have planned this out ahead of time. I'm better, but whatever. Suppose the number 1 will have to do for the title for right now. Now I'll think up something later. Just kidding. scroll past English. There it is. What class to play? The options. Searching for a fun looking pick for use early game. Ah. One, two, well. Still make the mistake. Now you. Yeah. That's easy enough. Mm. Expected. Okay. Now. Oh, wait. Right. I got a bit of a head start with this one. And ChatGPT's frozen. Nickpick, yeah. Right, that's purples. Begin. Yeah, decided. Mm, mm, So, do you think you are starting to understand? Because this video is getting a bit long now. So, suppose I will just show you a quick example of how to actually use. Explain to you what I'm doing here. First, I had the AI write out scenes, scenes that I want. Like her, like Queenie, realizing that starting gear is a bit lackluster and bare bones. As is normal in games you very rarely start out with good gear. Okay, just the bare minimum. No skills either, as is demonstrated in the anime. Okay? You get skills primarily from doing things or from buying them from skill shops and whatnot. Rebels, typically stingy and whatnot. But what really gets her is the no starting. I, of course, have not gotten writing yet, but I will soon. She does get a tad upset about that. See, I'm not going to elaborate this much on it. I don't typically like that. Instead, I'm going to focus mainly on her initial surprise at no starting gold. That's just not a thing in New World Online. And barely it's not in this story. Or because, well, it's funny. She ends up as a fairly rich character by the end of it, which is funny. It's not completely helpless. She does have a stick. It's a very nice stick. But it is still just a stick. Is she goes to the forest. This is a scene that is way too long for my liking. In actual writing, I would probably cut down on some things here and there entirely and make the scene right. That's named third to her. See? Simple as that. And I just did this entire scene way shorter than the AI did. It'll work out. Mm. On the bed. Everything would be fine. See? Entire thing. See? It's a simple picture. See, this is not that great. A lot of unnecessary details. Else, really all we need here is just... She swung her club. It collided with the rabbit midair, killing it. Apple bunnies were amusingly frail. Small amount of experience, and a single piece of gold was her reward. Boom. Entire scene that was just written and in like multiple lines of text. Just like 2 or 3 sentences there. Wow. Yeah, so much shorter, yet just as emotionally impactful as all of this. AI is really bad at this. Really bad at this. Man, I'd say, oh yeah, it's a common courtesy in Duel Online to let low-level players figure things out and let them be while they're figuring things out, especially if you're a high-level player. This is mostly just all unnecessary. The lines for stuff when we don't need this much. We could just say she continued killing rabbits for a good while, and was surprised by the fact that often other players would pass her by. It seemed common courtesy that you were not to bother low-level players while they were still figuring things out at least. She did appreciate this, and it was quite helpful. Then a boar monster. I'm probably going to change this to a B in the actual story. Shows up out of nowhere, attacks her, and she dies. Nice, because she's ridiculously frail as well. Queenie mentally got so busy killing frail rabbits, she eventually that she didn't notice that another monster had spawned in and was flying up behind her without being particularly stealthy, but just quite enough that she was not able to notice it until it hit her with a poison spray attack, draining her HP, taking her HP down to 0 in a single hit. She respawned on the starting town and immediately started crying. One's first death always stings, especially when that person is as money-focused as Queenie. Not hard at all, really, to write these scenes, but sometimes I just need AI to tell me how that scene might go. Now let's show you a quick example because we are still running the one time. The script hoping that this video will go by faster, but I underestimated how much time it would take me to read 2 stories and actually write one. So, yeah. Okay. Hmm. Mm. This one. Way. Trying to keep this video under an hour, and I'm not doing well on that. Geez, so much editing is going to be required, but this video was a perfect day. Mm. Neiman. Oh, right out here. Click this button. Okay, now the AI, because this AI has a memory in it that says I prefer scene outlines to actual written out scenes. So it is going to write me out this one is probably going to get complete this skill. Well, the name is actually pretty good. Probably going to get reworked significantly. Scaling with total MP. Yeah. Interesting, but I'd rather just make it cost 1% of your maximum HP, maximum MP, and then just deal that much damage. Simple, efficient, easy to understand. And some future skills. Bit specific to Queenie's character. They're so definitely going to get really rewritten, but not horrible suggestions. Now, before I end this video, we're going to just save this work as a draft and move on to another controversial topic. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I don't think I fit on pizza. Oh, you mean the fruit. But I'm not gay. See you next time, scavengers!